Previously on Alan Wake. I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice!
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at, but the cabin had disappeared.
3 years ago. My name is Flop, and we're continuing this Alan Wake chapter or game in chapter 2. We finished chapter 1 last time. So here's the next one of it. His face looks a little dirty. A little smug, if I do say so myself.
Honey, I'm home.
And I have a
Back
boner.
here, sweetie. How was it?
It was okay.
Worst weather
It's
I've
swelling.
ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up. Hey, handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
Wow.
I
She's
guess you're
ordering
gonna need
vodka.
that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
Let's look around this. People are talking in my hallway. Let's look around. Ooh, I can turn this on.
Coffee's on.
Great.
What's a weird
thanks.
coffee maker?
I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
We're gonna check the volume, so hold on a sec. Okay. Looks all good. Actually, let's just check something. Yep, we all seem good. Try to get the best performance for you guys. Can I walk outside, please? It looks interesting. I like the weather. Looks snowy. Go to Alice. Honey, did you buy me a new TV? Where are we gonna put it? Oh, right there. Coolio. Thanks for the new TV, honey.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Whoa. What did you do? Examine cover-ups. What did we do, honey? I think she did something special for me. Like, baked me a cookie. Those cookies were delicious, honey. They were a miracle. Especially with no
These
flour.
look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body.
Well, that
The last
we can arrange
time
that.
was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan! Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
Look, my own books. Return to September. What I can't forget, Alex, Casey, the things that I want. The fall of Casey. This guy is just basically Stephen King. On a second, let's check out the manuscript.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end.
Who's speaking?
I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head.
This guy's really
A
deep.
rerun of my own private snuff movie.
Ew.
A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me.
Ew. This guy's really deep.
This was a late goodbye.
Ew.
13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain.
There were bears, actually.
Blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy
Tasted like cherry.
dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it.
A good flavor of
I
slushy.
can see them now. My wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Sounds like Max Payne movie or game or whatever it was.
I really don't like this, Alan. Please hurry.
I know, honey. I know you're afraid of the dark. There's the fuse box.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay.
I'm here, honey.
Hi.
You okay?
Hi there.
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
What about you're afraid of the
Don't
dark?
worry. We'll just break out the candles.
You know what I mean by
know
break
it's
out.
stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid.
Your very
The dark
monotone
really spooked
voice.
Me too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I
Is a
ever got
metaphor
scared of
for
the
my
dark,
penis.
I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
This is
Oh,
all
sure.
metaphors for my penis.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Gosh, look at that. They're like eating each other's faces. Wow, they have a balcony on a building like that in New York.
Oh,
What's with those golden pistols? Look at them kiss. That was a nice kiss, honey. Now, do you see my boner? Now, this is where I messed up last time. The present day.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that?
feel like we threw up.
Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
You asked me that already.
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but
Is that
you've
a fish?
obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
What's
Thanks.
that thing in the back of his head?
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me.
Yeah,
I'll let
fishing
you get
pole.
on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
What's on the
Doc
back of his
Nelson was
neck?
the image of a small-town doctor.
Oh.
Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Anything interesting? There is an examine.
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you.
Can I write on this board?
You a
Nope.
fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
My closest thing to heaven is sex.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark.
You left the
I'll be
lights.
sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now.
Very good.
What am I reading? Have you seen this man disappeared 6/20/07 and features knack of winning contest. I think I killed that guy. I don't know why he's missing if he has a knack for missing. On a camping trip, overdue hasn't been in contact. If you have seen them or know their whereabouts, please call that number. Richard Bruce Jacob. I think I killed those guys. Or Starkey or whatever his name killed that guy.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk.
Ooh,
The
thank you.
battery was dead. It's charged now.
Thanks.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
The tone of voice
I'm not
changed.
sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up.
I shot everybody in the face.
Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Barry.
Please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops,
I
you're
bet
gonna
it's a
meet me in
manuscript.
Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight.
Mr. Wake, can I help
Don't
you
do
with
nothing
anything?
stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor.
Is this the cell corridor?
Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the lights on? The deputies, they don't... Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy.
Do you want a kiss?
Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward.
Why is a page from my manuscript on a cell? Whatever.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the Dark Presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
That sounded like a huge metaphor. Now let's go to the back lot.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, "Go through the fence on the left."
Hopefully there's a gun in that old... Is there a hole? I don't see a hole. Jump. What would you think they would say if they just saw some
The
Andrew?
caller had told me to find a hole in the fence.
I
behind
know,
the
I'm
police
just
station.
goofing around,
There was
gosh.
something for me in an
Also, I don't see
abandoned
a
car.
hole. There we go. Kick. Wow, that was a really powerful kick. That was
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
business.
Barry?
Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Oh, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Hey, look, another page of the manuscript.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall and the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
He's very monotone of voice. It's always the same inflection. I am Alan Wake. I write books. Blah, 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 blah. Alice, where are you? I'm scared for you. All boring and stuff. Did he pass out? Oh, no, he fell.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness.
Is this Twilight
The way
Zone?
a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Why don't you write Alice was magically teleported to me
Marvelous,
and I kissed her?
I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions.
I wonder what
Are
they
you
did.
feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at
I love
Elderwood
roaches.
are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron
He's
Lake
the one about the
Lodge.
writer.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation